Real-time strategy games may have lost some popularity since the golden age of the 90s and early 2000s, but it's still one of the most expansive and influential genres in video game history. Hits like Age of Empires, Command and Conquer, and my personal favorite, Rise of Nations, taught gamers how to manage economies, streamline productions, and defeat enemies efficiently. Most strategy games had a decent competitive multiplayer scene, but nothing came close to 1998's Starcraft Brood War, which started a national esports craze in South Korea. The development team at Blizzard Entertainment switched to working on the Warcraft strategy series before finally returning to their sci-fi hit with Starcraft II: Wings of Liberty on PC in 2010. It was followed by two expansions, Heart of the Swarm in 2013 and Legacy of the Void in 2016. You can play Wings of Liberty for free on PC through Battlenet, and the two expansions are also available for a $39.99 upgrade. I played all three campaigns in both multiplayer modes on PC, and after 55 hours in-game, here's my review of Starcraft II. At its core, Starcraft is a fast-paced, real-time strategy game all about collecting resources, building an army, and destroying the enemy before they can. The actual gameplay loop is incredibly simple with only two resources to manage, but the way you go about executing the game is wildly different across the three different factions. The Terrans are human builders with strong fortifications, the Zerg are alien creatures who spread and mutate, and the Protoss are highly evolved teleporting space wizards. All three have their own methods of resource gathering. For example, the Terrans build structures with worker units, but the Zerg have units mutate and transform into other things, and the Protoss can warp support units and structures in from a mothership. They all have special units with abilities unique to their faction who have varying strengths and weaknesses when it's time to attack or defend. The three campaigns place you into very specific scenarios where you might need to escort civilians, destroy a base, hold out against waves of enemies, and much more. The core loop of collecting resources, building an army, and attacking or defending is usually there, but the campaigns give a good amount of variety and a lot of single-player missions to play through. There's cooperative PvE multiplayer, which uses similar scenarios and maps from the campaign that you and a friend now play together, controlling two separate armies and factions. Before each co-op match, you select a commander unit which controls a special variation of one of the three factions and has unique abilities separate from the regular campaign. This mode was surprisingly fun, and the commander units made the mission scenarios more interesting, but this is also where most of Starcraft II's microtransactions are. You get the three main campaign commanders completely free, the Terran Jim Raynor, the Zerg Kerrigan, and the Protoss Artanis, but the 15 other commander units are locked at level 5 out of 15 unless you purchase them for $4.99 each. They're still available to play for free, you'll just be stuck at level 5, so it's really not that big of a deal unless you're super into this mode and want to max your commanders to use their abilities. The only other microtransactions are cosmetic skins and voice announcers, so Starcraft II isn't too crazy on the monetization, especially for a free-to-play game. PvP multiplayer is completely free but highly competitive, and breaking into the online scene takes a lot of dedication and research. The online matches are fast, lasting maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and trying to build up an economy before your opponent is a frantic but really exciting experience. Starcraft II has been out for a pretty long time now, so the barrier to entry these days is high, but the game gives you a ridiculous amount of resources to learn and get better. There's a detailed stat breakdown after every match, including full replays, so you can go back and see exactly where things went wrong and plan for next time. Every game mode in Starcraft II is really fun, and even though PvP is tough, the amount of resources and help along the way is very encouraging and made me want to keep trying. Now let's talk about that story. The Starcraft universe has an unbelievable amount of lore, especially for a strategy game. The free Terran-focused campaign Wings of Liberty tells the story of Jim Raynor leading a rebellion against the Confederate Emperor Arcturus Minsk. Heart of the Swarm shifts the focus to Kerrigan, aka the Queen of Blades, on a bloody quest for vengeance against those who wronged her in her past. Legacy of the Void follows Artanis, the young Protoss leader attempting to guide his people from extinction and save the universe at the same time. I was surprised at how good all three of these campaigns are. The stories are interesting, the cutscenes are so well done, and it genuinely made me want to look up more about the Starcraft universe after playing. The story sets Starcraft II apart as a strategy game and proves that management-heavy video games can also have epic story content. The score is incredible and exciting, and the voice performances both during gameplay and in cutscenes are top-notch, with the likes of Scott Menville and John Lancie among the cast. The one problem I had with the campaign is that there are just a couple difficulty spikes in some of the missions, but it wasn't frequent enough to detract from my experience at all. Starcraft II is a PC exclusive and is only available on Blizzard's official game launcher, Battlenet. The game itself is free, but creating an account with Blizzard and installing the launcher is required. I wish it were just a little more widely accessible so I could convince my friends to play with me without having to also sell them on an account and a game launcher. Overall, Starcraft II's presentation, from the in-game UI, the campaign menus, the voice acting, and everything in between, is very impressive and made this one of the best real-time strategy experiences you can have. Starcraft II Wings of Liberty and the online multiplayer modes are free to play with a Battlenet account, and the expansion pack with Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void can be purchased for $39.99. Microtransactions are limited to co-op commander units and cosmetics, but most importantly, there are no pay-to-win mechanics in competitive PvP. The expansion pack goes on sale frequently, and I see it for about half off a lot on Blizzard's storefront. After I visit the Battlenet store, I'll give this a score from 1 to 4. On the revolutionary Dinkus 4-star scale, Starcraft II gets 4 out of 4 stars. The free-to-play campaign is very good, but the paid expansions are even better and really kick the story into high gear. The co-op is really fun with friends, and the PvP is tough, but the loot is addicting and will keep you researching build orders until you find the rhythm that works for you. The free-to-play modes are great, but I think the $40 expansion pack is well worth it too. If you're even a casual fan of strategy games, regardless of whether you want multiplayer or not, StarCraft II is a must play. Download this game right away and buy the expansion packs too.